Speaking of the future, got a topic for you today as we talk with our relationship consultant that is the future. I'm talking about Doc Love, the man, the myth, the legend. And just as a disclaimer, and he wanted me to point this out, the advice that he gives out is G-rated. His aim is to get good women and good men into long-term relationships. I'm not doing the sex talk here today on the program. Doc Love, 10,000 women interviewed, over 10,000s of hours of conversations, of baggage being unpacked, all of it gleaned down and distilled into a simple thing he calls the system for interrelationship interaction. Welcome to the program, Doc Love.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, it's a beautiful day in Texas.
I'm sure. And beautiful in Southern California, too.
See, you're not supposed
72 degrees.
You're not supposed to go there. See, I was being polite. Why would you tell us it's 72 degrees when you know it's like 97 degrees and broiling? 72
over there.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's been a long, brutal, blistering summer here in Texas, and it makes the boys and girls crazy. But they're back in school now, and everybody's happy about that. But today we're going to talk about on the program, what about young children, not young, but young adults that are perhaps in their final year of high school, maybe getting off to college. And suddenly you go, why is it that my son doesn't have a girlfriend? Has he not made it through his awkward stage? Has he not learned the socialization skills necessary to talk to the opposite sex? And really, Doc, there's no cause for concern if your son's not involved in a relationship, is there?
No, not in high school. He's got plenty of time for women later, but he has to be trained. That's the thing. And what we're going to talk about today is why can't my son find a girlfriend? And let's say, he gets out of high school and now he goes through 2 years of college and maybe he has maybe 10 or 12 dates each year, but all these girls seem to drop him. He can't seem to hold on to a girl. And what's the problem? And then you're thinking, well, what happens later if he's 28, 29, and now he's going through his second divorce, he's got 4 kids, and he still doesn't understand anything about women. It was because he wasn't properly trained. So I recommend that when a guy graduates from high school, that you get on my book and CDs, because you have a selfish reason for a parent wanting your son to understand women. This is this.
Well,
the kids.
And we want them to be happy and be effective at their relationships and not be sentenced to a life of up and down emotional tribulations.
Yeah, that's one reason. The other reason is the grandparents want to see the kids. Because if she moves away after she divorces him, that's why mothers and fathers should get this book system for their kids.
There you go.
Because they're not going to see the babies when the wife divorces them, and they're going to run off with some jerk, or the son's going to marry the wrong woman that they never liked, but they kept their mouth shut. Sure enough, 4 years later, she committed adultery, and now she's running off with the 2 daughters.
Crazy.
And now she wants to leave Houston and move to Rhode Island, and this guy's business is in Houston.
Right.
So what's he to do? Because he was never properly trained. And the biggest problem young guys have, 17, 18, and 19, is that they're a nice guy. They're like this. They want to do too much too soon for this woman, and she's a complete stranger. Too much. And the toughest thing for men to get is this. You've got to learn to spoon feed yourself. Go slowly. Don't pressure women. The biggest complaint I have from women, out of the 10,000 interviews, why doesn't he just relax and have a good time? Why is he pressuring me? Why is he always trying to touch me? Why does he call me the next day? Can't he wait a little while? Why is it on the date? Does he say, I'm having a good time, are you? He's saying all these dumb things because I haven't trained him. So you people out there that want to be grandparents and want to see those grandkids, if your son's not trained, 50% divorce rate, women file 2/3 of the time, 88% of the time, the judge, the traitor, gives the kids to the wife. So I'm looking long-term. This is what I try to tell people. Just don't look at this, well, I'm going to this girl. Well, we're kind of in love. Well, we're kind of engaged. We're kind of married. And now we're kind of divorced. I don't want that to happen, Dave. I want that husband's wife to still love him over the long haul, and that's what I try to do. And what happens is when you have a young boy who's a nice guy, or maybe he doesn't dress right, he doesn't keep himself in shape, or he gets too serious on the third date, he's telling you how he's in love with this girl, and he's 19 years old, and you're just rolling your eyes, or maybe he gives too many compliments and gifts right out of the chute, and you're the mom, you're 37, you don't have a husband, and your 19-year-old kid is getting screwed around by these cheerleaders. It's because I haven't trained him. So if you want to see your grandkids, and if you don't want some woman to take advantage of your son, come to DocLove.com.
And here's my question, Doc. Basically, a lot of the tenets that you have been talking about over the past couple of months really, I think, are designed to approach relationships as a game, which they are. And women are playing the game, which forces us to play the game. Would you agree with that?
Well, the thing is this. She's going out with a stranger. She doesn't know you, and you're going out with a stranger. So how do we kind of feel each other out verbally? How do we do that? But there's this cat and mouse game that goes on. Everybody says, I don't want to play games. But the beginning stages of love is a game, and I think the whole thing, all the way through 40 years of marriage, is a game. There's certain things that you can do with your wife that you're not going to do with your dog or your best buddy, and vice versa. That's the way it is. And you've got to get that in your head, that women are nothing like Fido, and they're nothing like your best friend Johnny down at the Shell station. They're nothing like that. So stop trying to treat them like that and listen to me. But the biggest problem men have is they won't set their egos aside. They'll learn how to go out and buy a gun and how to shoot it, and they'll go take lessons. They'll learn how to lay a carpet. They'll learn how to build a brick wall or go out and, they'll take computer lessons. But nobody's going to teach me about women.
And so,
attitude.
And so, would you say then that women just naturally play a game, or does someone teach them how to play this game?
They're wired that way.
They're wired this way.
They're wired. Ever since they were cooking the food and having the babies back in the cave when the old man was looking out for the saber-toothed tiger. This is where they're wired, and they want confidence, self-control, and challenge. They don't want a needy guy. They don't want a guy putting them on a pedestal and verbalizing about it. They don't want this. They want this so-called equality. The trouble is, in romantic love, there's power. Who's going to be the boss? The one with the lower interest level is the boss. If mine's 85 and hers is 95, I'm the boss. If mine is 95 and hers is 85, she's the boss. So we'll go over interest level deeper in the future shows.
Mona. I'm sorry. Who's the boss reference? All right, Doc Love. You can hear him online at DocLove.com, 6 p.m. on Fridays.